Hello, and congratulations on your new job as a teacher here at Goofy Ridge's very own Chubby Cheeks Preschool. In this video, we will give you all of the health and safety tools you need to comply with the Illinois standards and have a successful career as a Chubby Cheekster.
We will cover CPR, choking, fire safety, and tornado drills. We hope you will learn a lot from this video as you begin your fruitful career as a Chubby Cheekster.
As a teacher, it is your job to make sure that the center is safe and secure for your students. Consequently, it is important that all cleaning supplies, pesticides, fertilizers, and other potentially hazardous or explosive compounds are stored in the original containers with legible labels and are locked away in an area that is not accessible to children. This is also true for sharp scissors, plastic bags, knives, and any other hazardous items that are harmful for children. These actions do not only include the classroom, but should be followed in the child's home as well. The teachers will provide the parents of new students an information sheet about safety and periodically send home emails reminding parents of the importance of safety at home, such as tightening the lids of all hazardous materials in the home and making sure that their children cannot reach them. Every time there is an accident in the classroom that causes a student of yours to be hurt, you will fill out an incident report that we will keep on file. Staff members should never abuse or neglect any child and should always protect all children from harm the entire time they are at the center. Staff members should never subject the child to corporal punishment, verbal abuse, threats, or derogatory remarks about the child's family. There are no firearms or ammunition allowed in the center. No smoking or tobacco products are allowed in the center or in the presence of children. The use of drugs, alcohol, or any controlled substance is prohibited. The center has an Emergency Action Plan, EAP, documented for use in case of fire or natural disasters. In each classroom, there is a floor plan posted with safety areas indicated in the event of a tornado and emergency exits for fire evacuation. Quarterly, there will be an emergency drill done with your fellow staff members and the students. Let's take a look at how the children, other teachers, and you would act during a natural disaster. Monitor news and weather reports. If indicated, move children and staff into a safe area away from windows, such as out in the hallway. Make everyone sit on the floor with their heads bent down towards their knees and their arms crossed over their heads. Evacuate only if told to do so, or if the center becomes unsafe.
Hand washing is an important procedure that happens daily. In order to properly wash your hands, a good way to know that you've washed them for the correct duration is to sing the ABCs in your head. When washing your hands, it's very important to not just wash them quickly, but also very thoroughly. You must wash the palm of your hands, the back of your hands, in between your fingers, and your thumbs. It's important that you're using warm water as well as antibacterial soap. After washing your hands, make sure that you turn off the faucet using your elbows or using a paper towel.
Emergency Action Plan, EAP, actually covers all types of emergencies, not just fire and natural disasters, but other things such as an accident or choking. This still requires that all staff members receive yearly training in CPR, first aid, AED. This is because one never knows when an emergency will occur. Before you begin assisting anyone in an emergency, you must always activate the center's EAP, size up the scene to determine if there are any hazardous materials, tap and shout at the victim to check for responsiveness, form an initial impression, and call for AED and 911 if necessary. Let's take a look at how to perform CPR and help a choking student. CPR is administered to an individual who is unresponsive, not breathing normally, has no pulse, and is in cardiac arrest. CPR consists of performing a combination of effective chest compressions and ventilations to help circulate blood that contains oxygen to the victim's brain and other vital organs. For most cases, CPR is performed in cycles of 30 chest compressions followed by 2 ventilations. Anytime CPR is administered, ensure that the victim is on a flat, firm surface such as a table or the floor. Here is an example of how to perform CPR on a preschooler. For the 30 chest compressions, cut the heel of the hand in the center of the chest on the lower half of the sternum with the other hand on top. When performing the chest compressions, keep your arms straight as possible. Keep your shoulders directly over your hands. The rate of compressions is at least 100 beats per minute, but no more than 120 beats per minute, and compress at a depth of about 2 inches. Allow the chest to fully recoil between each compression. For the breaths, place the mask over the child's mouth and nose and breathe forcefully into it. Stop CPR if the scene becomes unsafe, you are alone, and too exhausted to continue. The AED is ready to analyze the victim's heart rhythm. Another trained responder can take over, or you are too exhausted to continue. Choking occurs when there is an airway obstruction. The universal sign for choking is a person clutching their throat. Some common causes for choking are talking or laughing while eating, swallowing poorly chewed food, playing, walking, and running with food, or objects in the mouth, and eating too fast. For a child who can cough forcefully, encourage them to continue coughing until they can breathe normally. However, if the child cannot breathe or has a weak, powerless cough, you will need to perform a combination of 5 back blows and 5 abdominal thrusts. Here is an example of how to perform care for a conscious choking victim. For the back blows, reach your arm diagonally across the victim's chest and bend the victim forward at the waist. Firmly strike the victim between the shoulder blades using the heel of your hand. Make sure each thrust a distinct attempt to dislodge the object. For the abdominal thrust, kneel or stand behind the victim and make a fist with one hand and place it thumb side down against the victim's abdomen just above the navel. Next, cover the fist with your other hand and do it inwards and upwards. Perform back blows and abdominal thrusts until the object is dislodged or the victim becomes unresponsive. For a choking victim who is unresponsive, lower them to the floor and begin CPR, starting with the chest compressions. After each series of compressions, open the victim's mouth to check for the object, and then do the 2 ventilations.
Thank you for joining us for that introduction video. As a reminder, all information that was included in this video can also be found in your teacher handbook as well as our Chubby Cheeks Preschool YouTube channel. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns regarding safety procedures, please feel free to reach out to us here at Chubby Cheeks Preschool so we can all be happy and healthy together. Have a very cheeky day.